Greetings, everybody. I want to welcome you here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're back with the episode we do every Sunday. Usually comes out around noon. Last week it was a little bit late. Just circumstances dictated that. This week I'm sure it'll be on time. And it's an episode called This Week, coincidentally. So, what this week is about is that I will talk about what's coming up on my regular shows for the week coming. I may talk a little bit about what's coming up on the future, what new mini-series I might create, or what new stuff that might change on the show, anything like that. Also, I may discuss some stuff that happened in the past. So we'll start with the past. There's nothing really to report from the past other than I'm pretty sure I used the word invisible shield on the What's New episode last week instead of Invincible Shield. I do apologize if I did. I'm pretty sure I did. And I know the difference between the two. But for some reason I had a Freudian slip of brain. So anyways, we're going to get on with it. So the next episode, first episode we do after this one is called Ben's Album Challenge. However, that was last week. So this week we are rotating it bi-weekly with a mini-series I'm running called My Favorite Drummers. This week we're going to be entertaining for number 3, Keith Moon. Definitely a top favorite drummer of mine. I really like the guy. Many people like the guy. He's a hard guy not to like. A little bit crazy, hence the label Moon the Loon. But we'll be doing Keith Moon for this week's number 3, episode 3 of the mini-series My Favorite Drummers, which will come out on Sunday night at 8. So Monday is the regular show we do every week called Monday Night's Look Back at a Classic Rock Album. So last week I did the Eagles, which was a return after having not done them in a couple of years. I did one of my initial episodes was a Eagles album, and then I just did one this week. And I'm going to do the same thing here. So one of my first half dozen or so albums was this artist's album, and now we're going to do another one by him. We're doing Phil Collins' No Jacket Required. Definitely a top 5 album for him. I know it's a kind of a poppy album. I get it. It's sold about 25 million copies, but well worth listening and talking about it. It's still a great album. I think it's one of his better ones. So No Jacket Required for this week's look back at a classic rock album. So Tuesday night's episode is the alternate from ranking the songs on an album. This week we are doing album sides. I'm pretty sure I have done this before in some capacity. I'm just not sure where I put it or why I did it. I'm thinking it was one of my 5 favorite album type things or 5 favorite album side type things. And so I'm going to do this as an album side this week, and it's Judas Priest's Screaming for Vengeance. We're going to be choosing side 1, I think, which is almost perfect, even the little part at the beginning. But we're going to talk about that on album sides for Tuesday night. The next show that usually comes out on Wednesday. It's probably the show that's most liked by people, I think, on the channel. It's called Favorites. This week, last couple weeks, we've been doing a 2-parter, my 50 favorite progressive rock songs, part A and B. We did part B, which was the top half, and part B, part A, which was the bottom half. We did 2 weeks ago. So this week we're going to do kind of another connection. So 3 weeks ago we did one called 5 albums that changed the musical direction of a group, and now we're going to do another 5 albums that changed the musical direction of a group. I actually had about 12 or 13 groups that I had picked, but I'm going to make a second episode because I think there's enough good stuff here that we could do a second episode. So we'll be doing that on Wednesday. I've got the 5 bands picked out. Should be an interesting episode. Next up is What's New. Last week we did Judas Priest, Invincible Shield. Sorry, I did it again. Invincible Shield. This week we are doing a progressive one called Drifting Sun, and the album is called Veil. So we'll be doing that for what's new this week. Then on Friday we'll be doing another ranking of the albums. This is probably going to go on for 16 episodes total before we do the 2 semifinals and the finals. Unless something drastic changes, I think we're going to stick with that. I'm actually enjoying this. I don't know if everybody's enjoying it as much as I am, but I am. And so we're going to do that starting Friday. Friday we'll be doing episode 7. That will continue till episode 16, 2 semifinals and then a finals. Then Ben has another idea which I also like, so we'll probably switch that show out with the new idea, and that will come in and take the place. Saturday, we're going to do a second episode of my favorite of my playlist. So basically what I do on that is I talk about what's on my playlist, what's come out of my playlist, what's new in my playlist, what are my 5 favorite albums from my playlist currently. I may talk a little bit about my musical listening habits. I have a couple of new ones that I've been doing, so I will share them with people too when I do my playlist next Saturday. So that's it for the regular shows. The only other new thing is I'm getting closer to releasing my 6-episode mini-series on those 6 progressive rock bands that should have been in with the big groups, but they never had the commercial success that they had. But they're all just as good. I've picked 6 of them out. All these 6 bands I think are just as important to progressive rock as the original, or as the big groups like Yes and Genesis and Floyd and Rush and those kind of bands. These bands deserved that attention as well, so we're going to do that mini-series. But that will not occur this week. It really just depends on the weather and my work. If I get decent weather and my work is a little bit slower, great. I'll come out and we'll do the mini-series as soon as I'm able to. Anyways, that's what's going to be happening in the future of the channel at this point in time. Nothing else to report. I may add a couple of one-offs if opportunity offers it. I have been working on a compilation album. I've also been working on a What's the Difference album thing. What is the difference? It's an episode. I haven't put one of them out for a while, but I used to put them out fairly regularly, so we may do one of those. But at this point in time, I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen as far as work goes, so those shows only get on if I have extra time. So anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of this week. It's been a little bit of a shorter one this week, and I hope to see you throughout the week, and we will see you then. So have a good one, take care, and have a good day. Bye.